Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for coming today. I know that it has been hard with COVID the last 15 months and the girls and I really appreciate it. I would also like to say thank you for your love and support for the past couple years. Now just a little about Phil. Phil was born in Port Richmond on September 15th, 1959 to Dolores and Michael Reilly. Michael, Vincent, Bernadette, and Kathy are his siblings, along with numerous nieces and nephews. He went to Nativity, Holy Ghost, and then to Ursinus College. At Ursinus, he made friendships that would last a lifetime. Phil worked at Vanguard for 32 years, his second family, as he would call it. He was so skilled at his work and loved working there. They were very kind to him during his illness and kind to us even afterwards, which I truly appreciate. When Phil was diagnosed with AML, his first thought was he was going to fight it, and he did that every day. He would never give up. After 5 rounds of chemo and 16 hospitalizations, he kept fighting. His one-liner, strong as bull, which he followed till an infection creeped in the day before we were going to New York for a clinical trial, and the disease took over. Phil passed away peacefully on 8/1/2020, surrounded by loved ones. Phil and I met in spring of 1986. The way we met was actually funny. At the time, we both had mutual friends, Kevin and Joni. Right before our big mountain trip, we went to the Shrimp and Beer. It was during Lent, so we couldn't do beef and beer. Afterwards, our large group crashed at Kevin's house where we had to rummage for a place to sleep. Luckily for me, I found a nice bed under the bunch of boxes. After leaving the room for 2 minutes, I returned to find Phil sleeping in my spot. I told him to move, which, as you all know, he refused, so I just told him to move over. He wasn't taking my spot. We then started to date and got married on October 11th, 1997. During our 34 years together, there are so many things that we did. Going to Aruba for our honeymoon, taking rides just to take rides, taking our trip to Las Vegas, Grand Canyon, and the Sequoias in California, watching Jeopardy and him answering all the questions correctly. He had a lot of useless information in that big head of his. I kept telling him to audition, but he always said he didn't want to embarrass the other contestants. Spending weekends in Fortescue waiting for the guys to return from the fishing expeditions. Phil loved to go fishing and crabbing and spending day trips and vacation at his happy place, Ocean City, New Jersey, for years. He shared that love with me and the girls. His love for the shores spread to so much that the girls refused to spend summer anywhere other than the beach. He also loved reading, playing solitaire and backgammon on the phone, and the company of friends. There are so many memories we shared and the things I loved about Phil. He loved having a Crown Royal with a cigar by the pool. He loved to make jokes and he got such a kick out of himself. He had one-liners such as "C'est la vie," and we would all have to answer "La vie." He loved making chocolate chip cookies for everyone at Christmas. It was a lot of work, but he loved doing it. Moving from the city to the suburbs, he quickly realized outdoor care was important. Phil relished mowing, picking up his leaves, and plowing the snow from the driveway. He had the best laugh and the most beautiful blue eyes. He would always listen first and then share his thoughts. He was the guy you would call in the middle of the night if you needed help. The most joyful memories of him was watching him with Mara and Megan and our time as a family. Not only was he a great husband, but he also was an extraordinary father. He supported the girls when it came to sports and school in such a loving way, which made my heart melt. He could be tough, but he did it with such love. He would never pass up on a conversation in the living room to discuss history, judge houses that were on sale on TV, or look at cool car shows. Overall, just making sure they were always happy, even as they got older. He was their #1 fan. I was lucky to have a conversation before he passed, and he asked if he gave us a good life, which of course my answer was absolutely yes. I asked him if he had a happy life. He answered yes. The one thing that Phil and I we were a great team. We faced every challenge together. We loved each other. We missed him terribly, but there are some solace that Phil was there to meet my dad, saying, "Hey Joe, what's happening?" Phil, I will be sure to keep looking for those dimes you leave me and the beautiful sunsets across the sky. I miss you deeply and will love you forever.